Hi again, everyone. Another wonderful new comic book day in the world. On the very first day of the new year, is new comic book day. And I've procured comic books from 3 places, technically this time, so it'll be a little more haul-like, I guess. But anyway, let's get started. We'll start here, we'll come here, and we'll open that. Alright, first up from the local comic book shop, we have the free Marvel previews for the month. Yeah, because it's the first, so you get a new preview. We won't open that because, spoiler alert, I'll read this later to see what I'm going to spend my money on next. Obviously, Spider-Woman's coming back, and Jessica Drew no less. So, yeah. I've never been incredibly thrilled about her outfit, but, you know, that's okay. Alright. Let's see what we have here today. Alright, I guess first up, got some of these little collector cards for, you know, the new Thor #1 that just came out. Well, who doesn't want free collector cards at their local comic shop? I do. You know, part of me says I should read Thor because I kind of really like Danny Cates' writing on Venom, so, like, maybe I'd really like it on Thor. Plus, I don't think it's the normal Thor we're all super familiar with, etc. I think it might be, you know, like a new Thor, probably, because, you know, Thor's the king, you know, whatever. You know the drill. Alright. First up, we have the SANDMAN universe, John Constantine HELLBLAZER. This is technically a DC Black Label, because, I don't know, they don't want to... They used to have, like, their own label for this, but... Anyway. I forget who it was under, but... all the Sandman stuff used to be under someone else. But, not anymore. I really dig Constantine. I have ever since the Keanu Reeves movie, way back in the day, if you remember that. So... And, you know, I'm a sucker for all of the DC animated movies. I love the DC animated universe. And I really enjoyed the Justice League Dark one. Good stuff. Also like Constantine and Injustice Gods Among Us. I thought that was a good run. Alright. Next up we have 20XX. Do I know what this is about? Not a clue. Not one single clue. It's one of those things you see at the comic book shop and you're like, I'm gonna go and give this a whirl, right? You know? Maybe it'll go somewhere awesome. Maybe it'll be fantastic. You can probably hear my cats running around right now. Hey! Dunmer! Dunmer! But I wanted to give it a chance. You know, why not? I can get with, you know, something new, something awesome. So, giving this one a chance. Next up, this was just a impulse buy, I guess. These are 2 franchises I grew up with. You know, the Ninja Turtles. Obviously, I've probably watched more episodes of Ninja Turtles. I've probably forgotten more episodes of Ninja Turtles than most people have seen. Yeah. And, you know, Power Rangers, you know. I still remember them as, you know, Tommy and Kimberly and Jason and Zach and Billy and Trini. So, you know, when I saw, you know, old school Power Rangers and, you know, Ninja Turtles, it was like, well, I guess I have to at least look. Plus the art looked kind of awesome. Like, looked like it was drawn pretty well. So, you know, it's kind of like, yeah, give this a shot, you know? And they're already, you know, putting together their, you know, super non-Zord weapon here. So I was like, you know what? Let's give it a twirl, see what's happening. But yeah, I mean, A, a combination of franchises I like, and B, art looks really good in this. Like, I don't know if it comes across, but maybe it does. Art's really good in this, yo. So, gonna give this a twirl if I like, you know, add to the pull list. And I bought this just because, you know, it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 100 from IDW. And take note, Marvel, you're incoming. You should have bound it like this, this book right here. I have read probably the first 50 of these. The Dragon Rises. I don't know if y'all remember or read, but way back in the day there was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Adventures. And they were kind of corny adventures, but they had these like bonus comics in the back where like Master Splinter was training April O'Neil, and there was this kid, I forget his name, but he could turn into this big dragon. And yeah, I don't know if that's, you know, this dragon in the background obviously, but you know, this was just kind of like, it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 100, I want it. On to more familiar things that I do in fact love. Yes, more X-Men. I love the X-Men. Fantastic. Well, they're not always fantastic, but the current run of the X-Men has really, like, I love it. Every piece of it. Well, not every piece. You already know how I feel about Fallen Angels, but I know that's probably coming to an end because there's a new Cable series on the horizon, so Fallen Angels is probably going to end because Cable's part of that. But anyway, Marauders. Yeah, and this time we get old Bobby Drake here on the cover because, you know, why not? He's on a submarine, so somebody's probably spying on, you know, Krakoa. Yes. The story with him and his son here, you know, I almost forgot how his son actually died, Sebastian Shaw. I almost forgot how he died. Like, even though I have that entire last run of Uncanny X-Men, I had to go look up how he died because I'd really forgotten how he died. And, you know, it wasn't for sure for a while that, you know, House of X, you know, Powers of 10, you know, whatever was still part of the normal continuity. And it is. He kills himself, but, you know. And I love these little, you know, info diagram things. You know, I live for those. Those are, you know, awesome. But anyway, more Marauders. Yes. And now, of course, the flagship, X-Men. Not uncanny, not astonishing, not anything, just X-Men. Got Professor X, Magneto, and Apocalypse. You know, of all the of all the villains that came to Krakoa, I think Apocalypse is my favorite because, like, he's babysitting Jubilee's kid right now. And he's gonna save Rogue. I mean, in reality, for Apocalypse, this is probably like the greatest thing ever. You know, it's like this is kind of Apocalypse's, you know, dream in a way. Like, he's always fought for mutant superiority, and that's right where, you know, all the X-Men, Professor X, that's where they're going. You know, mutant superiority. We got a nation. We don't need, you know, all your stuff. What's this? One of those fold outs? Oh, fold out for Wolverine. Oh. But yeah, so the X-Men series, though, has been very I know it's not glue. Somebody said that on my last video. I know it's not glue, it's the ink or something just sticking together, but you know, the X-Men has been very varied. Like, the very first issue was just, you know, a barbecue at the Summers home on, you know, the moon, which Wolverine was at. And And there was a diagram of all of their sleeping quarters in that one. And, well, theories can go on there about whose room was connected to whose. I'll tell you right now, I'm a huge Scott Summers fan. I know he's a womanizer, but huge Scott Summers fan. Alright, what else we got? So, as you can see, I went down to the local Wally World. You can probably tell I'm a little southern because Wally World, not Walmart. But I'd read for a while that, you know, Walmart, you know, is getting like exclusive comic books and stuff, right? And, you know, I'm a comic fan. I like exclusive comic books. So, went down to Wally World to see what I could find. Alright. First, I found the JJ Abrams and his son Henry Abrams Spider-Man #1. And apparently there are 3 great Marvel comics for one terrific price. The terrific price was $10, which I guess is about average for 3 comics. And of course we have no idea what the other 2 comics are. If I go by the sticker, you know, I expect a Captain Marvel and a Black Panther comic book. So let me grab some scissors real quick. It does have a board on the back. I don't know if that comes through, but there are 3 comics and then a thick board. This is way better than the way DC had their comic books out there. So, just a sec. At the very least, I believe this is a an alternate cover because there's no barcodes or anything on it. So, at the very least, the cover just for, you know, the Walmart purchasers. Now, to be fair, back in the day, I used to purchase all my comic books when I was younger from a grocery store, from a Piggly Wiggly, no less. If anybody out there knows what a Piggly Wiggly is. They didn't carry the most mainstream comics. Got a little dent up there, but I guess that's okay. They didn't carry mainstream comic books. They carried like Archie, which is where I got Ninja Turtles, and they carried someone else. And they like had this itty bitty spot for DC, so, you know, for like Detective Comics or something, but that was it. One thing I am looking for is to see if there is a digital code, and I do not believe there is in this Walmart version. Oh, no, I lied. I totally lied. They do have digital versions in these, so they're just slightly differently printed with, you know, no UPC and stuff, which I kind of dig. You get to see all the cover art instead of, you know, this little UPC on the side here. So, I'm cool with that. The Death of Daredevil. Part 3. Okay. That seems like a really odd comic book to have in here. Now this one's a regular, good old-fashioned printing. I can't say I'm up on my Daredevil, so I don't know how long ago this book was published, or anything of that nature. Typhoid Mary, my goodness. That last, oh, this was at least a year ago, because they are pushing Uncanny X-Men #4, so this was a while ago, at least a year. So, this is where they're getting rid of their older comic books now. I mean, I guess that's kind of cool, in a way. Who knows? I don't. Alright, and we got Avengers, No Road Home. And poor little Rocket's getting cut open here. Got some fluids going on. And apparently, I just noticed both of these are second printings. So these aren't even first run comic books. These are second printings. So, I suppose, if you're into random comic books coming to you, this isn't bad, but I don't know. Or maybe if you just want the special cover that's only available at Wally World. And I thought I'd gotten one without a ding in it, but I failed. This one has a ding. But, what can you do? But yeah, I don't know. Second printings of, you know, random comic books. Unless it's a cover I really, really want, I might not be getting these again. Especially with just, I mean, Avengers, you know, it's not even normal Avengers, it's the No Road Home Avengers. Maybe I'll send my pops this one. My dad loves Daredevil. I don't, but he does. So, you know, there's that. There's the board. It's not as thick as a normal board. Alright, but I did get a couple of these that were out there. This is one of the ones I'd read people where, you know, after was, you know, the Crisis on Infinite Earths, you know, like go with the, you know, the television, you know, event that, you know, is happening and whatnot. So I heard a bunch of people were kind of after this one, so I thought, hey, this is probably collectible, so went ahead, snagged this. And, you know, this wasn't a bad read. I enjoyed the Doomsday Clock. You know, I could complain about, oh, they're, you know, crossing, you know, into alternate dimension, timeline, reality things and whatnot, but, you know, I read the X-Men, so alternate timelines are my bread and butter, right? So, but, you know, hey, look, it's all the Supermans. Even one of the ones from Death of Superman. Maybe in that reality this Superman lived. Was there an actual female super person at some point? I mean, I know we had, you know, Supergirl and whatnot, but I don't remember a Superwoman. But my DC knowledge is not what my... Oh, this is like a reprint of an old Soupy story. Or maybe it's just drawn that way. I don't know. I will have to read it. Is that the Blue Beetle? Sure is! Alright, anyway. So, snagged this one up just because, you know, whatnot. Now, of course, you know, this is sitting on a shelf at Walmart. So, unattended children are likely to have thumbed through it. I don't know why that gave me trouble. But, yeah, why not? This one's obviously been there a while because they're pushing Detective Pikachu. And I grabbed this one because I like Wonder Woman. Yeah, sue me, I liked the movies too, but yeah, like Wonder Woman, the art looked good, and you know, they're only $4.99 for a 100-page giant comic book. Again, hey, Marvel, they bound theirs really nicely to survive Walmart. How about you do that on your next giant book you want us all to buy for $10? Just a thought. Anyway, yeah, so I can get into this. Problem that I found was I was expecting different things to be at Walmart, but it was just this random set of stuff at Walmart. Like, I doubt Walmart follows any set release schedule or anything. I'm pretty sure, having worked in retail, once that crap comes in, if there's not some street date just blazingly apparent across it, they're just putting that shit out on the shelves. And you can tell this was, you know, just sitting on a shelf. Somebody thumbed through it at some point, much like I'm doing now. But why not? I'm gonna read it. $5. I'll read it, bag it, board it, and, you know, move on. Alright. First up, got some New Mutants, number 2. Originally I wasn't going to read the New Mutants, but then I read it and I was like, well shit, this is actually pretty good. I bought like the number 1 when it came out, but then I was like, man, you know, this is actually pretty good. So I need to get them, obviously. But yeah, and oh, Wolfsbane. Didn't get me started on Wolfsbane. Anyway. And, of course, New Mutants number 3, because, you know, I missed the window on getting them, so I have to get them this way. You know, in an intergalactic courtroom, you know, being put into the care of, you know, Cannonball and his wife, and it was like, eh. But then this story started, and it was like, oh, I can get behind this. And, you know, number 4, Boom Boom, Boomer, /500 aliases shows up. So, you know, I can get behind those. But here's why I really placed my order. Was to get a brand new copy who's, you know, arrived without damage. Excellent. I can grab the other one. I haven't sent it back yet. But this, to me, is one of the greatest X-Men stories. Like, it's fantastic. You know, I'm not trying to, you know, pump up Jonathan Hickman too much, but this was fantastic. It really took the X-Men where I didn't think they could go. Because, you know, we had the whole San Francisco thing for so long, and, you know, Asteroid M being turned into a small mutant nation, utopia. And, you know, it was just like, you know, I want this. It was so good. I know it's all going to fall apart. I know Krakoa is going to end at some point, and they'll have to find a new place. God, I hope it isn't Limbo this time. Right? We want our characters, but we want them to do something new. And this really did it. This, to me, is the best thing since, you know, Second Coming and, you know, Avengers versus X-Men, right? I think this is the best thing. Don't get me started on Inhumans versus X-Men, the whole death of Scott Summers and fighting the Inhumans. I feel like it was just done to sold comics, or to sell comics. I can't talk, I'm sorry. But yeah, the whole death of Scott Summers, Inhumans, X-Men, it was like, what are you even doing? Like, there's no reason for these people to be at each other's throats like this. To me. It just felt like a way to sell comic books. And then, you know, they followed it up to kill off Wolverine. That way, you know, the Holy Trinity of Marvel, or the Holy Trinity of the X-Men, I guess I should say, you know, Scott, Jean, and Wolvie are all dead. You know, it's like, let's get them killed off so we can bring them back later. But anyway, I'm going to get all these bagged and boarded up, grab my codes, and yeah. Thank you for watching. I will see you lovely people later. Enjoy some calm music.